Viewers of Rashtratigya, welcome to this channel in its episode continuing as practices in Hinduism. But something has come to my mind that before we go further into practices and rituals of Hinduism, let's have some discussion in nutshell on what is Hinduism or the Sanatan Dharma. Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, that is eternal spiritual path, began about several thousands of years ago in India. It was the religion of an ancient people whose philosophy, religion, customs are recorded in their sacred text known as Vedas. There are four types of Vedas. That's a further subject of discussion. These texts were initially handed down by words of mouth from one generation of teachers to next generation. It was not until much later that they were actually written down. Archaeological evidence from the Indus Valley civilization of northwestern India, or we may call it undivided India, helps us to establish Hinduism as the world's oldest living religion. Today, worldwide, there are almost more than 1 billion people professing some aspects of Hinduism. And it is increasing day by day. Peoples are coming towards, they are much inclined towards Hinduism. In this, we can see in Vrindavan, the ISKCON and in USA and other places, what the ISKCONs are doing, or the peoples of Western culture, they are now inclined towards um, Krishna and other gods of Hindus. And the fundamental the fundamental teachings of Hinduism, which forms the foundation of all its different sects, are contained in the concluding portion of Vedas and are therefore known as the Vedantas. That is the end or concluding portion of Vedas. This part of Vedas is also known as Upanishada. Is also known as Upanishada. And how did actually, what is the fundamental teachings? How if how great it is. Let's see, the fundamental teaching of Hinduism or Vedanta is that a human being basic nature is not confined to the body or mind. Beyond both of these is the spirit or the spark of God within the soul. A spark of soul within the soul, that's the great thing. This spirit is within us and also within everything we see. All beings and all things are really in their deepest essence this pure or divine spirits, the full of peace, the full of joy and wisdom, ever united with God. This is not just theory. This is not just theory, but it can actually be experienced. Anyone who takes the trouble to undergo the necessary training to purify and refine the mind and senses can begin to feel the truth of this. The training can also take various forms and is also known as yoga. That is, of course, the different subject of discussion. Union of individual self with these inner spirits. There are different sects of Hinduism, which will be another topic of discussion in future. In Hinduism, Brahmaji, we call Brahma or Brahman, Brahmaji or God Brahma is the creator, the name of the divine essence within us is Atma. There are one and the same infinite and eternal. Hindus believe that God is present in all creations, goes by many norms. Friends, let me tell you that it is the one infinite, eternal, divine being that is manifesting in countless ways. It is like a person at the same time being called father by his son, friend by his friend, son by his own father, husband by his wife, etc. A special relationship goes with each name. So the same divine Lord has been addressed as Shiva, Vishnu, etc., and as divine mother, Durga, Kali, etc. God can also manifest as an extraordinary being in human form, who is then known as an incarnation of God, such as Krishna, Rama, etc. And as I feel and think that since it is one infinite God alone that is being looked at in different ways, and all these manifestations can be prayed to for help and protection. This is the underlying principles behind all the different sects of Hinduism. All the sects, however, accept the ancient teachings of Vedas and Vedantas as the foundation of their practices. What we really need, according to Hinduism or Vedanta, to see the world in its proper perspective, if we really see it properly, we would see and realize that it is the God alone who is always before us and with us. Have a faith. Have a faith. He is always before you, with you, inside you, inside you, that we should have. So don't afraid of anything. He is there with us. He is in us. Friends, That's as I told that we are going to discuss practices in Hinduism. It is in this next part, and we have started this. Some important informations I have given to you, which I feel to deliver before you. The most common practices in Hinduism, and the most common rituals practiced in all Hindu households are puja, meditation, silent prayers, yoga, recitations of scriptures from Bhagavad Gita, bhajans, reading religious books, participating in satsang prayer meet, performing charitable works, visiting temples, and chanting the name of their beloved God. Among all this worship, puja is one of the most central practices in Hinduism. Puja is one of the most central practices in Hinduism. Every form of worship consists of making offerings and receiving blessings, from elaborate temple rituals to simple home practices. Friends, I think many of us, those who are especially from the villages, I think anywhere, any part of India, even uh, in Arunachal Pradesh and other occasions, and northern India, South India, see uh, how the pujas are performed in various ways, and the ways of performing changes from its place and for the purpose it is made. Now let me say that when we are born from the mother's womb, or we can say that when the mother delivers a child, she is confined to a room or a place which is almost sterile, which is almost sterile, and no others are allowed except few those who can attend the mother and the child. And you'll be surprised to know, must be many of you are knowing also, if you are from the village side, and if you are very elderly person, nowadays it is disappearing. But before few years it was the practice, now they go to hospital. But before, about 50 years back, I've seen, these are the practice. Now, just in front of that room, the door of that room where the mother and child, newborn childs are there for few days, the fire is kept. A live fire is kept always 24 hours. Anybody entering in the house, anybody entering in that room to see the child or the mother, to attend them, they will have to sterilize themselves, disinfect themselves with the fire. So see the use of fire here. How the fire is helping us in sterilizing or making us free from the microorganisms. And then, after living for a few days, and when according to the astrologers, the date are fixed, when in villages, normally after 6 days, in some villages they call it 30, but because it comes only after 6 days, the child or the mother, after taking proper bath and all, wearing new clothes, both mother and child. And then the small puja is performed as per the tradition or culture of the place. Even the near and dears are invited for the feast. In Hindu society, mostly it becomes vegetarian. Maybe in some places it is non-vegetarian, but generally it is vegetarian in Hindu places. Now, what I want to say that see this puja how it is performed. This is performed for the well-being of mother and child, newborn child. Now then, the namkaran of the child comes, newborn child. There is also a special puja for that. Near and dears are uh, called at the occasion, and the child is named. And in the meantime, the child horoscope is prepared for his whole life, how he is to go, how he is to move, what he will be, what type he will be. All these things are coming up. And after this, when the child grows up, then there is Upanayan Sanskar. We call it Upanayan Sanskar or Janu. Or for the common people, those who are still to know the details of the Upanayan Sanskar, they can call it thread ceremony in Hindu. It's a very spacious occasion. Acharyas are called. It's a great occasion. It takes a lot of time, almost the whole day, to perform this puja. And then the puja comes also after he grows up. Then the puja comes during marriage also. Though there are slight variation in there, the way the puja is performed and the marriage is performed from one place to another place. But the essence of puja for the marriage, according to Hinduism, is the same. It is the same. It don't differ. Essence is not differing. Only according to its place where this puja is performed, the marriage is performed, slight traditions differs, but then essence remains the same. Now, friends, in our next episode, we will be discussing some more points on practices and rituals in Hinduism and how the Hindu perform various rites, religious rites we can call it, during their lifetime. Friends, this is there are. Let me give a small now, little away from this, what we are discussing, little away from this for just for a nutshell. There are different sects of Hinduism, and also there are four ideal stages. Now I have just talked in nutshell. The details we'll discuss during our some other episodes. But let me tell you that there are four ideal stages or ashrams, we can call it, of life described in Hindu scriptures. Number one, the students. the Batu, the students, the Brahmacharya or Brahmachari. Now the age group is that from birth to about 25 years of age, that comes as Brahmacharya. You will have complete your study by that time. And then comes Grihasthashram. You are concerned with the household matters. You marry, you have children, you have got liabilities, you have got responsibility to look after your parents. So that is Grihasthashram or Grihasthi. And number three, the recluse or Banprastha. That life actually comes between 50 to 75 years of age. As Grihasthashram comes from 25 to 50 years of age. This Banprasth is supposed to be between 50 to 75 years of age. And then last one it comes, the wandering holy man or sannyasa or sannyasi, the renounced life. The person renounces his life. He is not concerned with the worldly or materialistic life. After 75, he goes for totally for the religious purpose of the society. Renounce the world totally. They don't think for the family, don't think for me because those he has already completed those periods. That's the Hinduism. That is the greatest thing. I think, and that is the things that Hinduism are attracting more and more people in this world. More and more people. More and more people. Thank you very much, viewers. And before we leave, I will request you again to subscribe the channel, like it, and give your comments, as your comments will be very useful for me to plan the future episodes. Thank you very much and goodbye.